Hello again, 8th graders. This is Chapter 5.2a on choosing and converting units. Please make sure that you turn in your textbook to page 248. There is a table in there that refers to equivalent ratios that are used for both customary and metric units. And you will be using that table for the next couple of lessons. If you'll notice in the table, they go from the smaller unit of inch to the larger unit of mile in the customary units of length, and then in the metric units from small centimeter to larger kilometer as well. And that same concept is true for the capacity and for the weight. Now you'll note that they call it mass for the metric, but they use mass in a different way than we do in science. So they use it very interchangeably with weight. One of the things that you'll be doing is choosing customary units. You'll be choosing an appropriate unit to use. For example, number 1, if we were going to talk about the weight of a truck in customary units, we would use a ton because it is a very large unit of weight. Now, if we're going to talk about the capacity of a juice box, that is going to be the fluid ounce. That is the smallest unit, a customary unit of liquid measurement or capacity that we have. If we're talking about the length of a room, we usually describe the length of a room in terms of feet. And if we're talking about the capacity of a large bucket or a pail, then we would use gallon. We're going to do the same thing with metric units. The first one is the capacity of a jug of cider. Now, first of all, you have to understand that a liter is about the same as a quart. So we're going to use a liter for the capacity of a jug of cider because it is a larger unit of volume. If we're going to talk about example 2, the mass of a serving of rice, there we are going to go to gram. A gram is fairly small. It takes about 28 of them to actually make an ounce. A newborn baby's height. In fact, they measure height of not only newborn babies, but they will even measure your height in centimeters if they are using metric units. The mass of a bag of sand. A milligram and a gram are fairly small, so we are going to use a kilogram. Now, a kilogram is approximately 2 pounds. It's a little over 2 pounds. If we were talking about the thickness of a penny, we're going to use the smallest metric unit of length that we can possibly find. That's at least in our tables, and that's going to be the millimeter. Now, the metric system does have smaller units, things like nanometers and so on, but we'll be using just the ones in the table. And this concludes lesson 5.2a on choosing and converting units. Scouting out.